to really hear some stories of impact and answer questions about next steps and give a reporting on where we are in terms of funding. I should have began by saying my name is Mike Soule. Oh, thank you. I've got one fan, Dean Jensen, thank you. I'm the interim vice president at the Ventura County Community Foundation. I've been very involved in work here in Ventura County. It is the most special place in the world. I think most of us agree with that because of the work that we do. I'm going to introduce a few of our elected officials, and then I'm going to ask Dr. Martinez Bravo to come up and give her story of impact as the executive director of Friends of Field Workers. Like you, she is wearing several hats. Many of us sit on many boards and do lots and lots of different things. And she's got a city council meeting that she's already late for. So they are in closed session right now and voting against her on something. So we want to make sure she can get there as quickly as possible. Okay. I want to say Dr. Antonio Castro, Superintendent Ventura Unified, is here. Bob Engler, Mayor Pro Tem, the City of Thousand Oaks. David Newman, who is past mayor and current council member, was going to be here, but had a horrible accident. And so he sends his regrets and wishes he were here. But he's on the mend. It's okay. He was at the council meeting last night and voting with one hand. Ty Gutierrez, council member, District 5, City of Thousand Oaks. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very, very much. And then Dr. Martinez Bravo, do you mind coming up and sharing a little bit before we give the other context so that we can make sure your time is honored? Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the flexibility there. So yes, I will be running out to my council meeting, but I definitely wanted to be here because it's so important. I see so many loving and familiar faces here, and truly we are living under such a humanitarian crisis. And the fact that there are people in our community who are doing everything that they can, and that's every single one of you who are here, trust me, it means so much to me, it means so much to our entire community, and to our farm workers. Every time that Christine is our programs director, say hi, Christine. Christine and I, we're a team of 2 and over 200 volunteers. Yes, so the power of volunteers for sure. Every time that we provide any type of service to our farm workers, they always say, que Dios la bendiga, may God bless you. And so I want to pass those blessings on to every single one of you, or good wishes as you wish to interpret them, because truly this work could not be possible without your support. Very specifically with the Neighbors Fund. As you all know, we had 2 massive raids, the big one in July and then another one in June that targeted the agricultural community. And behind the statistic of having over 300 families just from Glass House, that's how many families Friends of Field Workers has. Behind the statistic is so many stories. And it would take me forever to go through all of them. But what I will say is Friends of Field Workers, we immediately formed an emergency fund. And through that emergency fund, when a farm worker is connected to us, we are able to immediately support them financially. And so we already had a fund for crisis situations, whether it's cancer related, child died, whatever that may look like. But now adding immigration, it was a whole other level of trauma and crisis. I wish I could say that things are getting better. While the raid happened once, the trauma continues on every single day. And so Christine and I are there to help support. For example, just yesterday we got a call late at night from a 19-year-old who was detained from Glass House and then was then released. She's an asylum seeker single mom, little baby, and so we were terrified that she was going to get taken today, and we had to guide her through the entire plan on what to do. Last Friday, I went into the home, and trust me, like, the vicarious trauma is real because there's just so much impact. For many of our families, this is the first time that they've spoken to anyone, and so Christina and I go to their homes. It's not just that we write out a check. We go to their homes, we listen to their stories, and these are families that are not willing to go even to the county to get any support for mental health. This family specifically talked about, or the mother was there with a young 4-year-old little girl. She's a mother of 3. She was also detained from Glass House, and she was in detention for several months. While she was in detention, I somehow got her address, came back to the dad, and took another relative. The children were alone. 3 children. When she was picked up, in terms of what she reports, and she was in Los Angeles, I tried to force her to sign for removal, quote, voluntary removal, injured her to the point where she was extremely bruised and beaten. Yeah. While in detention in Texas, she said there were animals, and I'm like, what are you talking about? There are snakes that come into the cells. Their meals, many times, are frozen bread. That's literally dinner as a main course. There was lack of or no shampoo or soap. She describes it as being extremely filthy. They don't give you a change of clothes until you're extremely, extremely dirty. That includes undergarments. Everybody there, she described, was having constipation issues, and also there's a lack of water, drinking water. There's a limited supply of that. So you can imagine how hard it is every time we go in and talk to one of these families. We were able to provide her immediately with $2,000, and that is funds from you. That's funds that we can directly give so she doesn't have to get kicked out of the place that she lives. Because although she's back, she has to wait to get a permit to work, and she just can't do that. So, all that to say, I mentioned we are living in a humanitarian crisis, and I think that every single one of us, regardless of what you do, whether you're an attorney or anything that you do, our main responsibility is to always help protect and support the dignity and the humanity of human beings. And so I thank you for that. That is exactly what the Neighbors Fund represents for me, and represents for the farm workers. And again, on behalf of Friends of Field Workers, every farm worker in Ventura County, we are extremely thankful for you.
Now she's running. All right. Tonight, we want to say thank you on behalf of the Ventura County Community Foundation. And before we thank our partners in this effort, want to send a very, very special thank you to the VCCF staff who have put this event together and carry this work out in terms of marketing and communications for everyone. Part of what we've tried to do with this effort, and we do with other efforts, is provide turnkey solutions for you to put material into newsletters, have things that can go out over social media, and have data at your hands that is helpful in terms of the constituents that you serve. And so please know that it's really important as we get your information to be able to include that so that we can tell the story of what's happening in our incredible county. Back in the back once you've had a nice glass of wine, then walk over to the marketing table and look at some of the stickers and other swag that we've got for Neighbor Support Fund. You can order it, and Rosé will be very happy to take your order. She's right here. And so that can help in terms of some of the things that you're doing in the communication, which is critically important. You've also been seeing in the back of the room on the monitors the names of folks who have been funded in this effort. And I'm really excited. When you look at our coalition partners and you see the cross-section of folks who are there from our cities, our chambers of commerce, our economic development groups, our education groups, folks who are involved in everything in this community that matters so much to us. It's absolutely incredible. An incredible cross-section that have come together looking at this particular issue. But one of the things that's most important is that we have this now as an ongoing turnkey. As other issues arrive, that we can begin to activate and motivate and communicate with our neighbors. So thank you to all of our partners. We could not be doing this without you. And we have been working ever since we launched a few months ago to make sure that as dollars come in from whatever source, that those dollars be granted out as quickly as possible to have the kind of impact that you just heard from Martita, and you're going to hear from a couple of other of our speakers. And I'll be inviting you later, any of you who want to share any of your stories with this group. We have been able to fund 37 organizations with at least the minimum amount that they've asked for. Jeff Dean, who I'll be introducing in just 1 second, has been chairing that committee, along with Bruce Dinsley, Cesar Morales, and Brenda Posey. And they have just done an absolutely excellent job in terms of helping to vet and make sure that those dollars are going out and having impact. So how much? 5 rounds of funding, $751,000, and even more on an in-kind basis, as you can imagine. How much overhead expense did BCCF take? Zero. Why? Because it's that important. We want to make sure that every dollar that is given is going out where it's needed. And so that is something that we are very proud of, and we are just so thankful for all of you, for all the work that you've done, for helping us in terms of moving forward. And now let's talk a little bit more about the stories of impact, and with that, let me turn it over to Jeff Dean, who is the chair of our subcommittee and a member of the BCCF Board of Directors. Jeff, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike. A lot of old friends in the crowd. Some of you I may have booked in the past. I apologize for that. Like Mike said, my name is Jeff Dean. It's a pleasure to serve on the board of directors at the Community Foundation, and also the chair of the oversight committee that oversees the Neighbors Fund. So if some of you didn't get funded to the level you wanted to, remember the 3 names of the other people on the committee. Those are the people you should be mad at and go talk to them. So Vanessa and Mike wrote all these little words for me down, and you imagine with Vanessa, everything, oh, it's so sweet, I'm gonna cry, it's so nice, we care so much. Not really my style, sorry. So, and she can't not talk. It is, you should be in our board meetings, heaven help us all. But I'll just say in my own words, it's so great that all of you are here. When Vanessa first approached me and said, hey, I want to start this fund, and I go, yeah, I don't know, it's a pretty touchy issue, and how are we going to do it? And she coined one phrase that I remember this day, it's about humanity. And what I've found from the beginning of the fund through now, it's about people helping people. And all of our donors, if you think about the donors that give. It's the banks and educational groups, but private donors. They're giving money to someone they don't know. They're just saying, there's people that need help out there, and we want to help them. And these groups and our sponsors have really, really stepped up. And I want to tell you, as a member of the committee and the staff, we take it very personal. We really scrutinize all the submittals we get because we want to make sure that the money goes to organizations that are key to the mission that we promised our donors that we would follow. And that money goes in the right place and it gets out there quickly. And it's the story that the doctor just told about, $2,000 to a family. And that's what we need to do. And the foundation, I'm so proud of the work they've done, and I'm kind of a stickler to make sure, hey, we said this is what we'll do, and that's where that's where the money has to go. And that it doesn't happen just because of me or it's all the staff. But there's a great team. I have great colleagues on the board of directors of the foundation. For the board members that are here, will you stand up, please? Come on, stand up. They're a great group to work with, and I will tell you there is ongoing dynamic conversation about what we're doing to make sure we're doing the right thing and it's going in the right direction. For our donors that are here and the hundreds that aren't here, my personal gratitude and the gratitude to everybody for stepping forward and helping make a difference in people's lives. It really, really matters. We've got 31 members of the Neighbors Support Coalition, and they are all participating and making sure that things go in the right direction and we get this money out. So you're all in the business, nonprofits are giving out money. It's hard to give out money. It's really complicated. My first swing at it was after the Borderline Massacre. And Vanessa was collecting all this money, and I go, yeah, I'll help. And I was, oh my gosh, how do you give it out? Who are the right people? What direction do we go? And it's very, very challenging. And I can tell you the foundation has raised the level and is an example for other foundations on the right way to do it. So it's as fair and equitable as we can possibly be and getting the money out there quickly. Now, Mike said, wherever Mike went, yeah, we're not taking an administrative fee. Vanessa didn't tell us that, tell the board until we were already down the road. Oh, we're just gonna eat this one? Okay, Vanessa, whatever you say. That's the right thing to do. But again, I won't belabor it, but thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all the groups that are here that are actually doing the work. You sit in many of us, when I was a sheriff, I sat in an office, but the people out in the field did the work. And those of you that are running nonprofits that may only have a few employees and you're barely skipping by, but you're out in the field doing the work, reaching the people, and really making a difference in people's lives here in the county, which is one of the reasons Ventura County is just such an amazing place to live and work and raise our families. So with that, I will quit talking, and I want to bring up a couple groups that are doing some great work. The first one's extra good, the second one's a little shaky, but you'll see why I say that. But first, from my cop, Dr. Arsenio Lopez. So, Vanessa did point out, you gotta be careful because the man can lead the group in 3 different languages. And I barely have a command of the English language.
Thank you. Buenas tardes. Okay, so for those that don't know me, my name is Arsenio Lopez. Thank you, Vanessa, for the title Dr. Arsenio Lopez. I really appreciate that, but I'm not there still. Just have to be really honest with you all. Barely I got my bachelor's degree in 2019, so yeah, but thank you for that. So I work with, I'm the executive director with Mixteco Indigena Community Organizing Project, MICO, MICA, Proyecto Mixteco, and this year is our 25th anniversary. Yes. And our organization serves the indigenous migrant communities. And I really like the words being shared earlier in terms of this is a humanitarian crisis. Indigenous people has been in this humanitarian crisis for more than 500 years. And these few last months, I think that has been intensified, has been increased, the persecution feels more like in home. And someone like Martita was saying, it's really difficult to like share words without getting emotional because this is really getting personal. This is a personal level, and I think I want to say that our communities have been impacted not only by family separations, but with all what it carries emotionally, socially, and economically. We live under stress and every single day with a lot of uncertainty. Not only adults, but children. Our phones are not stop ringing, almost every week. Calling us saying, can you please get one of your staff and go check to this street? Because somebody said that the ICE agent is in there. Or can you just get some of your staff to go and check out of my workplaces in this location. I just want to make sure I'm going to be able to leave work and be able to make it home. Last week, and I wanted you to know that I have a strong. I just came back from almost 5 months, more than 5 months sabbatical. Thanks to my team that was able to support me and being able to do that. And just with a lot of gratitude about my team, or Miko's team, or our team being there for our communities. But it's not necessarily them seeing our communities just as another number, was another case. Our community, our team, the Miko team, is trying to respond on this crisis, and every single day, every single week, every single month for the last almost 8 months, with also like navigating and making sure that their families are safe, that their parents are safe, that their aunts are safe, that their sisters are safe. This is not something that about helping other individuals, it's about helping our own communities and trying to protect our own communities. And support that, like this type of like neighborhood fund, it really makes a difference in this type of crisis. I do remember a few years ago when the organization was also facing similar crisis, and we launched our humanitarian assistance programs that we were trying to raise funds to be able to support our families with all the different type of needs that comes as part of this persecution. It can be for one family, it will mean like just a bag of food in that week. For some other families, it will make a difference if we're able to support them with some financial assistance for their immigration attorney. For some other families, it might be a difference for themselves if we can support them for 1 month rent to be able to secure housing. Because each of these families go through different circumstances. And when I came back in January 5th, and as last week, I was working very closely with our humanitarian assistant coordinator or manager, trying to support at least 5 families whose members just got detained like 2 or 3 weeks ago in the neighborhood, El Rio neighborhood areas. And each of these families are in a unique need and unique situations. We were able to like go and support a single dad who was left behind because the wife was taken by ICE, and he has 4 children. He has a twins of like less than a year old, and they needed, he was just asking for support to be able to get formulas. And the first question because you have to be multitask, you have to be able to be all these resources, and I said like, what about WIC? Are they providing formulas for these twins? And it's like, he was not able to navigate WIC because the formula that they gave to the twin is not the same formula as the twins are used to have while dad was working, and he cannot afford those formulas anymore. As simple or as that, it can make a huge difference. Well, these two children that was left behind because both parents were taken in that neighborhood. The neighbor decided to take those children to her apartment. We only knew about that case because of our connection with one of the UCLA professor. I will not say her name because probably I'm not allowed. She referred that case to us. And this person's like, I'm here with my neighbor's two children. I didn't expect that I will be babysitting these two children. Both of their parents are taken away. Or the 17 years old sister, who both of her parents were taken, and now she's a caregiver for her 3 younger siblings. And she had to leave the school in order to be able to find a job and be able to navigate and support her siblings. I can start sharing a bunch of different stories, but for us to be able in a position to say to our case manager, please do not think about twice how you're going to support these families. Just ask what the needs are, and we're going to be able to help. And thanks for this type of support that we're getting. And also, I want to be really careful when I share these stories that I'm not victimizing our communities. Our people still have dignity, and we have to be really careful on navigating these cases and be able to support them at the same time trying to support the dignity of them and asking them what they need instead of us going and say, this is what you need. And being able to say, whatever you need is, we're here to support you. And the other thing that I think is we're being able to, we're navigating is all this, how it's impacting our own staff emotionally. And the trauma that we ourselves are carrying because a lot of our staff are first generation, second generation indigenous people. Have you heard about DNA traumas or generational traumas? A lot of us, we have not even healed with those traumas. And here we are trying to help other people that are going through this. What are we building right now? What are we creating? What are we creating? Another generations of children that unfortunately will have traumas in our community. So I think for my last few words, I feel very grateful and with a lot of gratitude to everyone and each of you as a donors, as a partners, because this is what make a huge difference. Us coming together, because as we indigenous people believe, there is nothing we can achieve if it's not being done collectively. And we have to come together. And I really appreciate and with a lot of gratitude for all what you've been supporting us through these funds and make it as, will give us that flexibility to be able to offer that support to our families. And also, I'm with Vanessa. We're not putting anything on the admin fee. All the dollars that come in for this particular type of donations, grants, is go 100% to our families to support them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing. Again, it's great to hear this real life stories growing out in the field. Our next speaker is an old friend. Longtime friend. Not supposed to say that, right? Our relationship started out a little shaky because she was working for that dang Ventura County Star and they kept writing bad articles about me. So, but it's evolved since then. Since she took the leadership at Food Share, the place has exploded, and they did in a good way. It's expanded. It's doing wonderful. You know, as the need has skyrocketed, they've stepped up and met the challenge and done an amazing job. So, without further ado, Monica White.
Yeah, careful with that old friend thing. Hi, everybody. So nice to see you. I'm Monica White. I'm the president and CEO of Food Share Ventura County, otherwise known as the head food lady. Thank you so much to the Ventura County Community Foundation for supporting Food Share in the Ventura County Neighbor Support Fund. We were thrilled to be able to be part of, admit it, it's the Cool Kids Club, right? That is part of those beneficiaries who were being supported in that, because that means that we are doing something, that we are part of a group that is making something happen. I love the word neighbors. We are very intentional about what we call the people that we are serving. We do not call them the poor, the distressed, the disadvantaged, or even the hungry. We call them our neighbors because they are our neighbors. With 250,000 people in Ventura County who use Food Share's network of pantry partners services, that's 1 in 4 in Ventura County. That is not the group of anything. That is our group. That is our neighbors who are out there. We're so happy to be able to support our neighbors. So what we did with our most generous donation is that we heard at the, I'm trying to remember what it was down at Ventura County Office of Education, and there was like 100 groups who all came in, and we were talking about all the ICE activity and immigration rights and all of that. Remember, we all got together, and everybody went around the room, and we all talked about what we were facing, what our challenges were, and what we could do better. And it was at that meeting that I heard about that people were scared to go to the pantries, they were scared to go get services, they were just nervous about being out and about, right? And that even if when people were going to the doors of people to be able to bring them food in our lovely Food Share branded boxes, that they didn't want them there either. They said it was making them be targeted, or was making them even not being under the radar. And so I immediately went back and I'm like, Christy, we got to think of something, like we're all about marketing and making sure that Food Share is all over everything. We gotta stay low. So we purchased more boxes that did not have any branding on it whatsoever. And then gave those out to our pantry partners like Makeup, Lucha, help me Christy, Friends of Field Workers, Martita, and Ruben Castro, Catholic Charities, and all of those larger pantry partners who had volunteers who were going to the doors of people who were too scared or didn't feel comfortable coming to the pantries. So we saw that, and then of course we needed to buy more food. The food that we purchase is food that is perfectly culturally important and culturally relevant to the people that we're serving. The food that we get from USDA sometimes isn't exactly what Ventura County residents want. USDA is giving us food that, guess what? It's good for the entire United States. So those shelled walnuts are lovely, but they may not be perfect for our neighbors. So we use our dollars to be able to buy fideo, hominy, oil, rice, beans. Am I missing anything? Masa, thank you. And the masa, and there's a certain kind of masa that we have to buy too. And so we listen. We want to make sure that we are providing exactly what is requested. So that's our role. We work with so many different nonprofit partners in here. Can I just see a hands if anyone who's a fan? These are the groups that are making it happen. They're the ones who are seeing the people on the street. They're the ones who are seeing the need. And we, as I like to call us, the free Costco, we're just trying to raise the money and to be able to buy what is needed and source what is needed and to be able to get it out. Some people have asked me, they've said, Monica, with everything that's been going on, has this changed your plans, your vision for the future? And some of you may not know what the vision for the future is. But before I show you, it has not changed. If anything, this has absolutely solidified our need to be able to continue to grow, to make sure that what we do is for all of you and in turn for all of the people that we are serving. So we are growing, and I'm going to show you now what that looks like. It's 7 minutes, so grab a seat.
It's really good. It's really good.
But according to Vanessa, it's really good. I think even Jeff Dean said it was good too.
Right now, hunger is real and a daily crisis in Ventura County. Since 2019, demand for food assistance has tripled.
Last year, Food Share served 250,000 individuals. That's 1 in 4 people right here in Ventura County.
It makes my mom glad that there's food here. It makes me feel like the community is helping.
Sometimes you have to wait to pay that bill, to buy food, to do what we can. Because that food really helps us.
Nearly 50 years ago, Food Share was started in a 2-car garage by Jewel Petty and her friends, who were gleaning fresh produce from our local farms to be able to provide food to those in need. Then 40 years ago, we moved into our current facility, where the team was so proud to be able to distribute 5 million pounds of food. Fast forward, today we are distributing 21 million pounds of food, but we're in 3 separate warehouses.
I've been working there for 20 years, and I've never seen these warehouses so full, and we're just busting at the seams. Currently, with 1 loading dock for both our buildings, we get daily traffic jams. Sometimes we get up to 6 trucks. Most of them are lined up down the street waiting to be called in to be unloaded, and we just need more space.
Capacity has become a major concern for Food Share. During peak donation periods, we accept about 6 truckloads daily. 50% of that is refrigerated product. When we run out of cooler space, we end up saying no. Last year, we said no to 8 million pounds worth of fresh produce because we simply didn't have the space.
Volunteers are the absolute lifeblood of our organization. We host over 4,400 volunteers on an annual basis to help us pack boxes, drive trucks, distribute food, and squeeze themselves into every available space just to help us feed our community. We can absolutely use more volunteers. If only we had more space.
Food Share has and will continue to serve our community, and we will not let something like lack of space get in our way. We have big plans and a solution. Food Share is excited to announce we're building a brand new food bank. Located on 12 acres in Oxnard, California, and not too far from our current facilities, Food Share's new warehouse and headquarters will provide the capacity we so desperately need to better serve Ventura County residents for decades to come. At more than 85,000 square feet, double what we have today, Food Share's new home offers solutions to the challenges our staff, volunteers, and pantry partners work through daily. Thoughtfully designed with growth and our community needs in mind, Food Share will be a welcoming space for all. A huge purpose-built volunteer space will welcome our thousands of volunteers each year, creating a better experience for the people who help power our mission. Our 200 agency pantry partners will not only have a dedicated shopping area, but their own walk-in cooler and freezer, along with ground-level loading docks. With twice as many pallet spaces and a massive 7,000 square foot cooler freezer, the 6 loading docks will allow us to receive and distribute even more food. We can't have a new food bank without a community room and an outdoor space to take advantage of our beautiful Southern California weather, both ready to host our partners, volunteer groups, and of course, Food Share events. Disaster preparedness is always top of mind, and with a 48-hour generator and a commercial kitchen, Food Share will be ready to respond during times of emergency. And did we mention the parking? With 173 parking spots, we'll have room for everyone and be able to accommodate even more volunteer groups, visitors, and our staff.
As a board, we've taken a strategic approach over the past 3 years to get to where we are today. The Food Share Board has worked with engineers, architects, food insecurity experts, and a number of other professionals to get the food bank where it is today. We're now in a position with that expertise and support to move into the next chapter.
This is where we need your help. This is a $50 million project that will ensure that we'll be able to feed Ventura County residents for generations to come. But we can't do this alone. Oh, thank goodness you're here.
This project is more than a building. This is your food bank. This is Ventura County's food bank to feed our neighbors. We invite you to join us in feeding our future.
My family is personally invested in this project, as well as the board, the Food Share Board, because we believe in the mission and the purpose of Food Share.
Terry and I are honored to be co-chairs of this amazing capital campaign. This investment is critical for the future of Food Share and for hunger relief in Ventura County. I hope when people look back at this moment in Food Share's history, they'll look back with pride.
And we are just one of the bricks in the building block of what Food Share is and the history that it is making. We will leave this legacy. We've been a part of it, and I'm proud of that. Feels right, feels good.
Are you ready to be part of the solution? By supporting this campaign, you're investing in a hunger-free community. You truly are feeding our future.
This is how we build capacity. This is how we build resilience. This is how together we are going to feed our future.
Are you in?
I'm gonna need a little help.
Okay, so the bar has been raised for all of our video capacity, right? You've shamed us all. It's absolutely fantastic, but absolutely inspirational. Again, I think indicative of why this county is such a special place, because of the care and the passion that people have. I want to thank Jeff Dean so much for his words and introducing. We wanted to bring up our speakers so that you can ask any questions that you might have. And then I want to invite any of you who have also received any donations or contributions from the Neighbor Support Fund, if there's anything that you want to share, which would be great. And as a reminder, we have these cute little cards. Remember when you were in elementary school and you got your Valentine's Day cards? And you didn't want to not have one? So please fill one out and put it in the little jar back there. And basically just sharing your thoughts and sentiments for the county and the community. So, Monica, do you mind coming back up? Arsenio? We have someone, I think we have someone from Friends here. Yeah? Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Any questions for these folks? Don't be shy. Yes?
Arsenio, how did you figure out how to take a certain amount of donation and spread it so widely? Did you have internal processes that helped you make those decisions of where the funds would go?
Well, thank you for the question. So we're being intentionally developing internal process. Of course, it's always capacity constraint because each of our staff already have their plates full. So, but when it comes to this type of crisis, we are very intentional that we have a very, a process that make it look fair, and that also allows our team to, be able to read the story or see the stories, and have a team that is a point of contact in this case for everybody else in our team when they are in these, when they are with these families or families. So we call it right now, we have Josue who's leading the whole effort of who's particularly also leading another type of task force initiative across the state, with the state, I'm sorry, and being in charge of our program with the 3 counties. I didn't mention about the numbers in terms of Ventura County. Right now, our Josue shared with me that we have 23 cases, ongoing cases, and it's still helping. The 17-year-old sister, I forgot to share with you, that's also a success story when it comes to, like, after we look into what she needs, and she was able to say it, and us being able to contribute our support. Then our program manager was saying, suddenly she disappeared. I don't know if she's doing okay, she's doing fine. A few weeks later, she's coming like, hey, I heard about the sister, we contacted her. She's just doing fine. She was able to, like, figure it out. So I think that comes also back to this whole thing about seeing our families now that they just are waiting for us to help them, but also they just need that little push or that little support, immediate support, while they're figuring out what will be the next step with a new situation they're in. But yes, to answer your question, we have a little internal process and system that is being made up by our own team members, like committees.
Anybody else? Any other questions we got? Don't be shy. They're here. Yes.
For Monica. Monica, I know a lot of people think that people come to Food Share every week to get groceries. Can you comment about that?
Thank you, Jerry. Such a great question. So all of our pantry partners are on the same system. It's called Pantry Track. And so when people come into, our neighbors come in to be able to get food, that we only ask them 3 things. We ask them their name, how many people are in their household, and their zip code. And that way we're able to hopefully get an unduplicated number. And in that system, we're also able to see how many times do they come back. Even though they're only counted once per year, that unduplicated number, we track to see how many times. Do they come once a year? Do they come 50 times a year? And what's interesting is 2/3 of the people, so 66%, only come 3 times or less per year. That means that they are perhaps getting SNAP benefits, they are finding support elsewhere, they're having trouble at the end of the month, they have a medical emergency, they have something is happening, their car breaks down, and they need just a little bit more help. So 2/3 of the people that we are serving 3 times or less per year, which always surprises everybody when we tell them that.
Thank you,
You're welcome, Jerry.
Sounds like a plan. Catherine.
Do you schedule for the food pickups, like just for a community member or a family that's down and out that month and they want to come and get food? Do they just show up, or is there a schedule?
So our pantry partners all have their own schedules. They have what day of the week, what hours they're available. The ones that are being home delivered, is there anyone here that can speak to the home delivery that they're doing? I would love to, why don't you come on up?
Oh.
Come on up. Come on up. Again, where's the free Costco? These are the ones doing the work here.
Okay, sorry, I'm not the best public speaker. I'm Alicia, I'm from Hope of Ojai. We do fresh food distribution twice a week, and then we also do home delivered food boxes monthly. Those are on a schedule, so we do have our families call and they sign up. They can either do recurring, or if it's an emergency, we can respond and get it to them that day, either ourselves or a volunteer will do it.
Thank you for everything you do. I appreciate it. And if you want to volunteer, Wednesdays at College Park is our weekly drive-through distribution. It takes 70 volunteers. It's a 3-hour shift. We have about 2,000 cars that come through there every single week. We started this during COVID. It was really cute. We thought we'd do it for 90 days, and here we are almost 6 years later doing it. So if you want to see hunger relief in action, come do that. It's really fun.
Yeah, I have one question. Can you explain, kind of take it back just a little bit and explain what a pantry partner is?
So Monica,
Probably the number one question I get is what's the difference between a food bank and a food pantry? So Food Share is the food bank of Ventura County, and we are serving nearly 200 food pantries. So all these people who raise their hands, those are our pantries who are getting the food from us at no cost. We don't charge anything, no shared maintenance fee, and we don't charge for delivery either. And so we see it as our job to be able to raise the money, to be able to purchase it, source it, all of that 21 million pounds of food every single year.
Thank you. Christine, can I answer your question? Yeah. When one of the pieces that was impressive about the work that you all do is immediate relief for folks. Can you just talk a little bit about what does it mean when someone gets a $200 check or a $500 check from friends?
Like, what were that, like, what were they getting?
Either one, but just what does it mean to them, right?
Oh,
Because
yes,
it's,
okay.
what's the impact that
Yes,
that
okay. It's a very big impact. It could be, I mean, it's so specifically for our immigration families that were affected. It could be like the rent payment that they're trying to pay to avoid eviction because now income is cut in half in that family. Or it could be going to support their legal fees. It could be just for meals. You know, there's children that are being cared for by family members or neighbors, and people have said. So it could go to a number of things, but I mean, they're all in crisis, all of these families. So it could go to a variety of things, but a lot of people have shared, you know, rent, I really need help with the rent now, or we'll get a lot of copies of utility bills, like people are like, my water's gonna get turned off, my lights are gonna get turned off. So it can mean a number of things, but all very important.
Any other questions? Anybody want to share anything? Any other stories of impact?
Dr. Gabino, Garrett, share.
Yes, we got somebody in the back. Like the Carol Burnett Show. Yes, come on up.
My name is Corey Bachelor. Oh, it's loud. I was Shelter Care Resources, so if you don't know who we are, I really wanted to speak to you because we are providing basic necessities and wraparound services for extremely low income, homeless, at risk of homeless, and foster children and families. We have one of our food share food pantries, and also clothing, hygiene, bedding, housewares. We have this kind of little mini warehouse of supplies that we are able to offer to our families free of cost. We also have a computer lab where they can come in and they have free access to internet computers. We will help them with vital document searches, including like when they do rental assistance, and we do housing navigation and rental assistance as well. We also can provide medical transport. So one of the things we're doing right now is in partnership with Gold Coast. If you have people that you know of, clients or partners, who are really needing to get to the doctor because of the current situation, they're afraid to go out, we can actually send a car to their house. And all we need to do is work with them to make sure we can get the appointment scheduled, and we will send an Uber, so it's completely like unmarked. And then we just need to know that they got where they're going, and it's kind of cool because with the app you can see where their little car goes. So you can see where they get there, and then they call us when they go home, and we send them back home. And it's all very incognito because it's not like if they have to get on a bus and they're in public, although we can do bus passes as well. But I wanted to let you guys know that in case you want to contact us. We can receive referrals from any of your agencies. So you can ask me about how to send a referral to Shelter Care Resources. I have a client, a parent, a student, anybody who is in need, clothing, shoes, pretty much anything. And that's what kind of wraparound services are. So if you guys have somebody that you can share with us, we would love to be able to help. And we are grateful for the assistance for Ventura County Community Foundation because we were able to assist people with rental assistance and materials. We were actually able to house as many people in January as we did in the 6 months prior. So stoked for that, I can't even tell you, because we're really looking for those people who are in they're subletting. Because if you're gonna apply for rental assistance, then you have to have bank statements, you have to have social security card, you have to have a lease agreement, and what if you don't have a bank account? What if you don't have social security card? What if you're not on the lease? What if nobody knows you exist? Then basically you get nothing. So we are actually be able to save a couple of families. And so thank you guys so much, and just letting you know that we're here, so you can come find me afterward. And I forgot my business cards, but I can help you with phone numbers or whatever you need. Thank you so much.
Gabino, there you go. Share with us, brother.
Buenas tardes. Otra vez. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Well, first of all, I'm part of this great family called the Ventura County Community Foundation, which is part of a larger family, Ventura County itself. So we're lucky to live in this place, of course. I call it Santa Paula, the center of the universe. And that's to say that our reality, my reality, unfolds from that place, geographic place, spiritual place. In Santa Paula, I can look toward the south and look at Chicholo, the mountain, Chumash named for South Mountain now, and I can look to the north and look at the Topatopas. And so we're in this place. It's an indigenous place. I appreciate what Arsenio mentioned earlier, because as indigenous people, I'm indigenous myself, we've been struggling for a long time, and as Bela Suti says, la lucha continua, the struggle moves on, it continues. So we're lucky to have a facility which we set up as an under one roof project called El Centro del Pueblo there in Santa Paula. El Centro del Pueblo came about when a local Methodist church closed, and they asked the pastor, is there anything that you can do as a congregation after they were told that their congregation was going to be shut down? Is there anything that you can do for the community that is a compelling need? And that pastor called some of us, myself included, and said, what is the need? And we said, there's services here, but they're all working silos. They're all isolated. So if a family has a need, they have to go to this place, and then from there they have to go somewhere else, and then from there they have to go to Oxnard, and then from there they have to go to Simi Valley. So what's wrong with that picture? Well, what's wrong is that it is very inefficient and time-consuming for a family to have to get on a bus and spend all day along with their children to access services. So we set up this under one roof project. We have 5 organizations under that one roof, and it's a one-stop shop. So very similar to other organizations that are here today. But with the connections that we have in the community, then we're able to build a volunteer base, which is very important. We're an all-volunteer organization. Myself, I'm the pro bono executive director of El Centro del Pueblo, so I'm responsible for keeping it going and for working with our volunteers to really identify and serve the needs of the community in a way that is respectful and dignified. Because so often we look at indigenous people, we look at the indigent, and we look at them as objects, not subjects. As an object, if we objectify an individual, then we're dehumanizing that individual. So at our center, at El Centro, we focus on serving the humanity that comes in the door every day, all day. So when individuals come to our place, there are typically unhoused neighbors or challenged neighbors that are coming, and they're there because, like me, when I was a child and we were in need, we were able to count on the community to help us. And part of the reason that I'm here today is because we were helped all along the way by people who cared. And so this is what I see in this group today, right? It's, we beat with one heart. At one point, an individual told me, a medicine man said, the difference between the definition of religion is the beating of one heart next to another heart. So, so this is how we look at our head day. So, so as an organization then, we've been able to leverage funding and support that has come our way. In the last 9 months, we've raised $92,000. In dollars, material donations, we've raised estimate about $50,000. For legal assistance, including asylum and travel and consultations, $32,000 is what we've given out. Rental assistance, $25,000. Utility payments, $4,500. Food other than food share, $19,000. And college scholarships, $3,500. Then food share is very interesting because we have some professional shoppers that are volunteers, and what they do is they go throughout the county and scour for deals on various things. And of course, Monica mentioned the basic staples that families need. So, you know, they'll come in all excited and they got, you know, 200 pounds of potatoes and 15 cents a pound, 10 cents a pound. They got 100, 300, 500 pounds of beans for a ridiculous price. And they're selling, there's a special over here at Superior Market. We need to go over there, and then we need to go to Costco because they're having a deal on this. So anyway, these professional shoppers then are able to work there at the center, talk to the individuals that are coming and asking them, what is it that you really need? And based on that question then, they go out and shop to tailor to the needs of the community. So our support services, when we have 200 to 300 families that line up in the alley next to our building to get ready to pick up their food. Typically on Thursdays, we provide that from 2 to 4, so about 12:30, folks start lining up and they're just standing there. So what do you do with 150 people that are just standing there? Well, you can let them stand, or you can go out there and talk to them. So what we do is we go to them and say, well, how are you? How's the family? You know, what about the president in Mexico? What do you think about what she's doing? What's happening in Nicaragua? What's happening in Central America? You know, are you going to the fiesta? Are you going to the baile? You know, you engage them in that kind of talk because they are, as I mentioned, they're not just objects standing there, they're subjects. And we need to engage them in an authentic and real way. So our schedule then is, we have a donation center. People come in and they take what they need. If they need a bed, we have a bed, they walk out with a bed. If they need a stroller, they need a stroller, all right. If they need clothing, children's clothing, if they need toys, whatever it is, kitchen utensils, whatever, they come in and take what they need. On Monday, we focus on women with really young children, expectant mothers, and children that are from 0 to 2. And we have a special pantry for them. We have diapers, we have food, formula. We have individuals that will talk to them about nutrition and baby care and those kinds of things that are important for young parents. So that donation center is available to them as well. We have a special pantry that is designed for this level for this age child and for these type of families. We have a pantry that's focused on the elderly as well. So whatever food's left over during the week, typically on Thursday, we serve all these familias, and if there's food left over, people come in every day. And do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And by the way, sit down, let's talk a little bit. You want some water, whatever it is, right? So anyway, I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing, because when I retired, I told myself I'm really going to get into what I really want to do in my life, and this is what I want to do in my life. So that's why right now, between you and me, my heart is beating close to you.
Thank you so very much to, one of the pieces as we start to wrap up, and we're very fortunate to have VCCF board member who's also our county superintendent, Cesar Morales, who's going to close us out. Just a couple of quick thank yous again. Thank you to everyone who's donated. It's one of those reminders. The reason that we wanted to share some stories of impact is sometimes in our day-to-day, it's easy to get lost in the stuff and forget about the impact and the people. The dignity of someone just being recognized as being in need, or someone being recognized as being a neighbor. And so each and every one of you, and those of us who work in this field, I always think about it as pebbles in the pond. You never know where that goes. And so there are folks who will be standing in rooms like this that will talk about something that their mom and dad got, or that they got, that impacted their life and their trajectory in ways that we will never, ever understand or can calculate. But we need to take that into account in terms of the work that we do. So I want to say thank you very much again to the donors. Thank you to the folks on the front line that are doing this work. And I would bet we could sit here, if we had more wine, we could sit here and learn even more from one another. And so appreciate the fact that we'll have a little bit of networking time afterwards. I want to thank the board of directors of VCCF for their incredible support and vision, and our CEO, Vanessa Bechtel. Thank you. And once again, to our incredible team here, we thought about having this event someplace else, and then we realized we didn't take any overhead, so we can't afford it. So we got some Costco cookies. That's the way it goes. With that, let me introduce a good friend of mine, and someone that in this county we are so blessed to have, an educational leader, Dr. Cesar Morales.
Good evening, Ventura County family. It was July. We were devastated with the news associated with one of the most nationally covered raids that happened here in our Camarillo at the Glass House. And there were so many things, questions, we were unheard of. This is our community. How could this be happening here? Not here. Our community woke up. And our community faces crisis unlike any other. We have over 200 nonprofit agencies that we lean on each other in tough times. We've been through pandemics. We've been through fires. We've been through floods. But the impact of immigration enforcement, that was a new one for us. And in the days that followed, nonprofit agencies that respond faster than 911 in our community as normal fare were plagued with questions that government agencies were grappling with. If we help a community that is hurting, we potentially could lose our funds. Nonprofit agencies being threatened with losing their nonprofit status if they do what they're charged and what their mission is to do. It was a moment where we were close to freezing, like many places in this country. But we are Ventura County. And in this family, we are so compassionate. Empathy is not enough. Compassion is when you have empathy that's fueled with action. We are not bystanders. We have a calling. There's a lot of differences and similarities that we have in our alignment of serving our neighbors. We serve them in a variety of ways, whether it's housing insecurity or food insecurity, whether we're connecting them with how to navigate the county agency services or services that we might have, or if we're charged with making them smile. We have it all in this room. But during that time, we were close and we needed to come together and we needed an infusion and we needed a boost and we needed everyone to know we're in this together and to rally together. Vanessa called me like she calls many of us in this room at odd times of the day or night. You know, the Vanessa call. So I get a Vanessa call, we have to do something about this. And then I go, yeah, we do. Let's have a meeting. And it was the famous meeting. I go, I'll host it here in my office. Call Bruce Stensley, call Savette Johnson, and Vanessa, and let's get in my office, and we'll be here in 2 hours. So being a teacher at heart, and being a former teacher, I go, I got to give them a book, right, before we start this meeting. I need to anchor it with someone, you know, and I gave them The Obstacle's the Way by Ryan Holiday, where you commit to making progress, not perfection. And you are not a bystander because you're not waiting for perfect conditions. We didn't have perfect conditions. We didn't even know what was going to be our next step. And we got together and we said we have to help the nonprofit sector be fueled to do the magic that it's going to do, because right now we don't know what the play is. We don't know what the education system or the government agencies are. We were getting letters every day. Your federal funding will be cut if. Your federal, it was crazy. You know, my circular file almost was overflowing with these letters. And in the education space of the $3.2 billion of education funding, $300 million of that is federal funding. And we're also dealing with declining enrollment, second most rapidly declining county in the state of California. We can't lose money. We're trying to make ends meet, and we're trying to create and offer out-of-classroom services and mental wraparound services that all of you are cheerleaders for in our system. So we couldn't freeze, but we needed to respond. We came up with an idea to create a coalition approach. We're not doing it alone. I'm your county superintendent of schools, but I also serve as a trustee, a board member with your Ventura County Community Foundation. And I was able to call an emergency meeting with the P20 Council. Some of you are here in this room. You can raise your hand if you're part of the P20 Council. And we came together and we said, we are going to request and lead the way with the Ventura County Community Foundation to request that a coalition fund be made, because VCCF on its own couldn't just enact one, right? So P20 is a silent partner in this, but it was very key in that moment of not freezing and giving us an avenue to create this coalition fund where we came together and we had to come up with what our mission was, and that is to respond to this humanitarian crisis in this moment. But that's Ventura County, the Ventura County way, the Ventura County family. That is how we roll. And we are always good neighbors to each other. So when we came up with the Ventura County Neighbor Support Fund, it was only natural. As we developed that name, saw all the faces that are in this room. We are the neighbors, and we are the neighbors that do not freeze in crisis. We're not done with this one, and we're giving it some good shots, aren't we? We're doing great. All of you are doing great, and you have successes that we all share. And we go home sometimes feeling those feelings of triumph, and we go home thinking, and yet it is not enough. But we've already raised over $1 million, and we know that in our circle of influence, people care. And the Good Neighbor Support Fund is not going to die, because it will never die in Ventura County. Because that is who we are, and we want to partner with you, we want to amplify you, and we want to represent the love and compassion that everybody deserves. Because every human being deserves to be seen, valued, heard, cared for, and loved, so they have the ability to have voice. And even in a time where contextually the federal narrative or that of the media may not express interest or love, or even see certain populations, our community has us to remind them that we are in America, and we are pursuing, and we make our own American dream, and we will not succumb to the pressures of hatred and persecution and live a nightmare. Nightmares are not going to live and reign forever in Ventura County, and we are going to be there to hug and get these horrible moments that our families are going through, whether it's financial, whether it's social, emotional. I don't want anyone to leave. I've had over 1,000 students in our county leave, self-deport, because their families are afraid. And we've had others with sporadic attendance because they're afraid to walk to school. It's 2026. But I want you to know I am so proud of the school system, our school board members, our superintendents, our teachers, our support staff. Even if there's a raid or a dip, there'll be a dip in attendance for a day or two, and then they're flooded with emails, they're flooded with calls, and they're flooded with people in front of the school reminding people that this is a safe place and we want you here. And there's an uptick right away of attendance. Despite this all, this is crazy. The effort is unmatched with us. I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting our community, supporting our schools, and right now it's the gut check. We're in the middle of this, and it's not over. We need to lean on each other, look to the left, look to the right, look to the front, look to the back, and make sure we remind each other to stay healthy and to practice some balance in our lives, because we're in it for the long haul. Because everyone in this room, this isn't just cool for a minute. This is the way we roll. So, thank you, Ventura County family.
Is there anything ahead? Maybe there isn't. No, there's just Monica. So friends, we said from 4 to 6. We are 10 minutes early. Get the heck out of here. Thank you all so very much for coming. We will be having other convenings like this. Would love to get feedback from you about tonight and what else you'd like to hear and see. And don't forget, we've got swag and stuff back in the back that you can order and do your Valentine's party.
One thing.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Bechtel. I serve as president and CEO of your community college. I really want to let you know this is a moment for us to all go out. We've done 5 rounds of grant making, but we're working to do the 6th round. So we have applications. It's really easy. So if you have not yet applied, please do make sure you know. If you are working on the front lines with our families, please know. And if you have already received funding and it's been a while, please apply again. And I just want to lift up one last thing. The partners in this room, obviously some of you have been recognized, but a number of you have just been here behind the scenes. This really has been a collective effort, and you really did answer the call. And I will tell you, you've helped hold the dream for me, and you've made this work possible. So I just want to say thank you. If you're a partner, would you please just stand for just a moment. I know Ventura County Credit Union, I see you, I see Premier Credit Union, I see the Housing Trust Fund, I see so many of our partners. I know you're very shy. The City of Thousand Oaks, will you please, Economic Development Collaborative, you really made this possible, and you held the dream. And then so many of you, I just want to say the last thing. We've been getting donations that are $10, $25, $5, some monthly donations. And this is what we can do when we all give together. We had a waiting list tonight because it just is too many of our donors that are participating. But we have an opportunity to bring more people together and to remind us that we're all in it as neighbors. So I only share this because I like to talk. No, I wanted to share this because I wanted you to know that there's the 5th round of grant making coming and how proud I am of each of you. And another shout out to my board of directors for their leadership. My board chair, Leah Lacayo, back here, I just want to say thank her for being a partner in every sense of the word. Jeff Dean, Dr. Cesar Morales, to so many of you, please know how much we appreciate you and my team. Every day I'm thankful. I can't imagine a day without you.
Good night, everybody.